It's time for System Test 26, featuring my brand new Fire Alarm Demo Board 2. I've got new panels, new devices, and it's pretty much an entirely different setup, so I'm so excited to share it with all of you. It's going to be so much fun, I think. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I would suggest you watch System Test 24, which was the finale of my previous Fire Alarm Demo Board, and in that video I talk a little bit about why I decided to renovate this board and rebuild it and that kind of thing. So check it out if you haven't seen it. But back to this video. Here I have both of my EST Fire Shield fire alarm panels now officially retired from their demo board spots. So I really don't have any plans for these panels at the moment other than putting them in storage, but I'm sure some point in the future you will see these come back and make an appearance on my channel. Okay, let's look at the new demo board. And here it is. Check it out. This is a Simplex themed board. I have two Simplex panels. Both of them are conventional. And yeah, it's a bit of a Simplex themed test. Of course, I'm not only going to use Simplex devices, but I thought it was fitting for the first test of this new board. The setup is similar to my previous alarm demo board, but it's kind of been improved and I guess just updated. So let me give you a tour of everything and then we will begin with the test. Beginning with this system, I have a Simplex 4004 2-zone 2-NAC fire alarm panel. I've always been fascinated with these panels. I've always wanted one, and luckily here I am with one. They're super neat. They're very basic, but that's a good thing. They're nice panels. Let me grab some keys and I will show you the inside. This panel is all normal, as you can see. Open it up, there's the inside. I don't have any backup batteries. I'm bypassing them so I don't get a trouble. I also have this zone expander card, which gives me an additional 2 zones. So this is now a 4-zone panel. But overall, great panel, and I'm happy to have it. Let's check out the devices on the system. I have 2 pull stations. Currently, the first is a Simplex key operated only station. These are pretty unique. And then I have a Simplex 2099 9795 single action pull station. I also have 2 notification appliances. The first is this Simplex 4903 mechanical horn strobe with a fixed 15 candela strobe, and the horn is being coded to March time from the panel. And beside of it is a Simplex 4904 strobe. I'm not sure what the candela is, maybe 75 candela. There's no sticker for some reason. And I have 1 detector on the system, and right now it's an older Simplex photoelectric detector. I'm not sure what the model is, but these are pretty neat. And the last device on the system is this Simplex key switch. Of course, when I turn this key, it will activate the system, and anytime the system is in alarm, this red light will turn on. This key switch actually came from my first fire alarm demo board. It was right here, and when I was building all this, I wanted a Simplex key switch for this panel, so instead of buying a new one, I took the one that was here, put it there, and then bought a new one that's more fitting for this system. So that's it. That is the 4004 and its system. Let's look at the next one, which is a bit larger, and the panel is a Simplex 4005. This is another panel I've always wanted to get my hands on. They are very nice. They're very large, both in capacity and the physical size. I never realized just how big they were, but this panel's awesome. It's a lot like an addressable panel because there's so much programming you can do. There's so many custom options, custom controls, and really I only understand the basic concept, so I want to play around with this panel more to understand everything else, but it's really cool. I've also always liked the interfaces on these panels. It's super neat. This is also a card-based panel, and pretty much what that means is you can assemble the system however you would like. You can have a lot of zones and a few NACs, or a mini NACs, a few zones, and then other accessory components. So right now I have 6 cards total. Over here I have 3 zone cards, and each card has 4 zones. There's only 2 I'm not using where those resistors are. So right now this is a 12 zone panel. And beside, on, well, the opposite side, I have 2 NAC cards. Well, these are NAC relay cards actually. There's 4 outputs per card, and you can program them to either be NACs or relays. So right now all of these I have programmed as NACs, and then all of these I have programmed as relays, but you can intermix if you'd like. Lastly, I have this 8-point input-output module, which isn't doing anything. It's programmed on the system, but has no function. I'll be honest with you, I really don't know what this does. I know, of course, it has something to do with inputs and outputs, but I really couldn't find a lot of documentation. I heard something, it can do enunciator indicators or something. There's no terminal block either, which is a pain because you can't buy those. So I really don't have plans for it at the moment, but maybe one day I'll get it in operation. I have new backup batteries. You can also see the system is normal. And yeah, really cool. I like it a lot. As for the system, I have 3 pull stations. This is a Simplex 4099 dual action T-bar, which was addressable, but I converted it to conventional. I then have another Simplex 2099 9795, and then we have a Simplex 2099 break glass pull station. There's no glass, so this kind of acts like a dual action pull station. There's 2 notification appliances. The first is a Simplex True Alert. Well, it's a pre-True Alert. You can see it doesn't say True Alert. And this is a horn strobe in white. It has a fixed 15 candela strobe and is being coded to code 3 from the 4005. Beside of it is a Simplex pre-True Alert strobe, pretty much this, just red and no horn, and that has a fixed 75 candela strobe. I do have 3 detectors on the system as well. The first is a Simplex 4098, I think, photoelectric smoke detector. It's a true alarm. And then over here I have a Simplex heat detector. It's fixed temperature and rate of rise. And then in the middle I have a combination photoelectric smoke detector and fixed temperature rate of rise heat detector. It's also a true alarm. Pretty much a combination of this device and that device. So pretty neat. Some other components on this system are these 2 things. The top is a Simplex indicator light. It's pretty much just a light on a plate. And using those relay cards we talked about earlier, when the system goes into fire alarm, this will flash in the march time pattern. And underneath, I have this super uncommon Simplex key switch. You can see it has a green LED instead of just the single red one. And again, using relays, how this operates is when the system is normal, green light is on. When the system is an alarm, green light turns off. The alarm light will then flash, and of course, turning this key will activate the system. So yeah, that's the tour. As far as other stuff goes, I have this junction box in the middle with a switch underneath, and when you flip it, it will link both systems together. So if one system goes off, the other one will go off. I borrowed that idea from my first demo board. Of course, I have that same exact switch and same setup, so I thought it would be cool to do that there. I moved the power switches that control both boards to the wall, kind of in the corner. It used to be on the board, but kind of was a bad idea because it took up so much space. So I pushed it away, kind of made it smaller. As you can see, it fits in one 2-gang electrical box, and then there's wire mold going to both boards, and I have some of the hardwired connections there, and yeah, it's all good. Of course, the system is in conduit, which looks a lot better compared to how I used to. As you can see, there's a lot of bends that I'm very proud of. I am an electrician, if you didn't know that, so I guess I should be good at bending conduit. But yeah, that's about it. That is everything to show. I know this was a little bit lengthy of an intro, but let's get on with the system test now. Okay, we will start off with the 4005 system. And here we go in 3, 2, 1. Audible silence. Both of these strobes are not synced, by the way, because I don't have a Simplex sync module. We will look at the source of the alarm, of course, middle manual pull station. And yeah, So let's do a realarm now with a detector, and I will use some of my Smoke Centurion spray to activate this true alarm. So here we go. Back to audible silence, and I'll do some resetting now. Reset this pull station, and I'm going to remove this detector off the base, which will give us a trouble I can demonstrate. So trouble on the system, we will press trouble acknowledge, ceiling left smoke detector. Whoops, there, trouble. It's kind of interesting, there's 3 acknowledge buttons for the 3 events. Kind of air this out a little bit. The model is 49, trying to get you to see it, 4098-9601. And put this back up, which will clear the trouble. Alright, system reset. And this panel takes a long time to reset also. Okay, it's reset. Let's move on to the 4004 and pull, actually, let's do the key operated only station because that's different. Audible silence as well. There it is, zone 1. And let's do the key switch to realarm. You can also scroll through the events of different alarms. You see zone 1 and zone 4 were activated. And we can reset. Now the 4005 is reset too. Keys down. 4004 takes a second to reset. It's not as long as the 4005. And there it is. Back to this system. Let's do a heat detector. And I think we'll do this one. With a realarm on this pull station. Back to silence. A little warm. Let's reset this pull station. And we should be good to reset the system. So while that's resetting, let's come back over here and do this smoke detector with Smoke Saber. If I can find there it is. Audible silence, and this system is still resetting, and we'll probably have to wait for that to air out, so we'll leave that in alarm. I guess it's silenced. Did I even reset this thing? I don't remember if I did. It should have been reset by now. No, I didn't reset. I swear I pressed that reset button. Maybe I didn't. And we should be good to reset the system. Well, okay, we'll have to wait for that to reset. Back to normal. And let's try out this key switch. Silenced yet again. And I do have a feature I would like to demonstrate on these simplex conventional panels. It's really neat, and it's zone realarming. So with most conventional fire alarm panels, if a zone activates, you can't reactivate the zone, but with simplex you can, as long as the device that originally activated the zone is reset, if that makes sense. And the way I'll demonstrate it is with this detector. So use some smoke in a can to activate the smoke portion of this detector. Okay, so that's an alarm. Yeah, I don't think I'm losing my mind. I pressed this acknowledge key and it's not acknowledging. You know, I've noticed that a little bit with this panel. The more I've messed around with it, sometimes you press acknowledge and it won't acknowledge. So I think the reset button's the same. I've pressed it, but it doesn't reset. Anyway, so that's an alarm, right? The system went off. There's the alarm ceiling middle smoke detector. Well, now I'll reset the detector. Acknowledge that. Whoops. I'm so used to pressing that button. So we'll reset this detector, air it out, and place it back on its base. So now it's back to reset. The system is still in alarm. It's silenced. Grabbing this hair dryer again, let's activate the heat portion of this detector. So look at that, I re-alarmed the same exact zone. Isn't that pretty cool? But of course, one of the like I said, the device that originally activated the zone has to be reset to make it work. But still kind of neat. And reset the system. To finish off this video with this new system, let's link both panels together and activate it so all of the alarms will sound at the same time. And here we go. Back to silence. Let's pull this one. I don't know why it does that. That's very annoying. I don't know if it's a glitch or what, but okay. Let's do some resetting. This T-bar, this T-bar, and this one. Okay. Audible silence and all of the notification appliances. And we will reset both panels now. Actually, let's reset this one first because it takes longer. Reset. And quickly reset. And yeah, that will do it for my new system test of my brand new fire alarm demo board. I hope you enjoyed this one. Let me know what you thought of this new setup. I'm super happy with how this demo board turned out. It looks awesome. I'm so excited to make some more new system tests with this board. So yeah, I think it looks good. I kind of like how the devices are spread out now too, compared to the old board that was a lot smaller than this one. But anyway, so let me know what you thought. What do you think of these new panels and the new setup? I appreciate it as always. Of course, thanks for watching. And I hope to see you in the next video. But don't forget to check out some of my other videos on my channel, other system tests, or any other styles of videos of mine too. So that's it. I'll catch you later.